here. Probably not one of my brighter ideas, but I'll end up with snow all down my neck. I know, Casey, you lead the way. Pack a trail, except you're going the wrong direction. And these trees, I'll put my hand up here. This tree here you can see is probably about 3.5 inches in diameter, maybe 4. I have really big hands, like 2X size, 2XL. So that's probably a 4-inch tree, and most of them around here are anywhere from smaller ones up to that size and a bit bigger. There's one right in front of us, about 20 feet in front of us there. He's probably about 8 or 9 inches in diameter. That's a big tree here. And these trees are old. We have such a short growing season, and it's so cold that they're very stunted. You can see that these trees are probably not more than about 30 feet tall. It's amazing. These trees grow a long time out here, but they grow so slowly. That's an old tree. And you can see the branches are pretty peaked looking along the way there, until just a little tuft at the very top. That tree's getting close to the end of his days, but that's an old tree. Actually, there's a place where they were cutting a little bit, and I'll go out there one day when I've got my snowmobile with me, and I usually carry a chainsaw on the back of the sleigh, just in case I get somewhere where I get, a tree down across the trail. And I'll go to one of the stumps and I'll cut it off square and count the rings, and I'll video that. And it'll be a tree, something like these here. And you'd be amazed at how many rings we're going to count. Even small trees, they're like this one here, that are probably 4 inches in diameter again. That tree's maybe 25 feet tall, black spruce, and that tree's probably 40 years old. It's amazing. Beautiful in its way. A lot easier when I was in my 40s. Actually, it was a lot easier when I was in my 50s too, for that matter. Look at these rabbit tracks. Holy cow. I know I keep saying it, but last year there weren't many. Well, we found a bit of a clearing. That'll help. We're working our way towards the shelter, but we're not on a snowmobile trail here, so we're going to hook up with, here it is here, hook up with our snowmobile trail in, and then, actually this is the walking trail after I've left this machine, but, whew. I think I'm going to pull the camera, take it home. I'll leave more food again, but there's only so many pictures of bunnies you need. Certainly plenty of them around. But when the snow comes, if I leave the cameras out, like a lot of people do, they'll just end up underneath the snow, and of course you won't get anything because the snow will be up higher than the cameras. So what I do is I pull them out, take them all home. Also, the ones that are in certain locations, I won't be able to get to them through the deep snow, and they'll be stuck there all winter. So I bring them home, and then after the snow has pretty much reached its major depth, I can pack down trails. Boy, this stuff didn't get eaten too much this time. Not as much anyway. I take them home, and then I bring them back out after towards the middle of the winter when the snow is more or less at its deepest. And then I can reset them high enough up a tree that they can still see without getting buried. And I can get to them, but the snow makes trails right to them, and so, it's a bit risky. This is the box that I welded up for this particular camera. And as I said, each one has a size and an opening to fit the individual camera that I use. You can see there's 2 holes, hold it up a bit, 2 holes in the back there. And I can lag bolt it to a tree. And I hate using lag bolts, but it's the only thing I've got that can really secure these things. The bears you can see they're all scratched, and some of the older boxes are just chewed all to pieces. And they get pretty beat up. And I don't want to lose them, they're too expensive. So the camera goes down inside and sits like that, on the tree of course. And then the lid folds over. I'll stand this up now that you've seen it. And you can see that there's a hole there. We take the padlock And once the camera is inside and the lid's closed, as you can see, the holes that mount it are way down inside there, so you can't get at them as long as this box is closed and locked. So I stick the padlock through there and lock it, which I'll do now anyways. And that's how it sits on the tree, locked up like that. Now I have a wedge here. I have a small wedge that I carry for each one, and I can stick it in the back so that when I bolt it to the roundness of the tree, I can, you know, sort of tilt the camera. I can tilt it forward if I want to shoot. If I have to mount it higher for whatever reason, I can tilt it back by putting the wedge underneath it, or I can tip it slightly sideways either way just by positioning this wedge here or underneath it. And that's how it works. And then I just carry a socket and ratchet to carry to take the lag bolts out. I also carry a little bit of some of that beeswax I made in one of my videos, mixed with pine resin, and I just have a little medicine pill bottle with me that has that stuff in it. It's in another pocket here, and I use it just to use my finger, and I kind of plug the hole in the tree up with it, just to try to keep the parasites out of it and make sure that there's not too much damage from what I've done. So that's my setup. That's where it was, right there on that tree. That tree's been patched up. It's good. Won't hurt the tree, and I don't leave anything there for any particularly long time. So I'm ready to head back for home. The shelter's doing a pretty good job. As you can see, there's a bit of dust that blows in here, but not too bad. There's Flint checking out the rabbit tracks and everything. I'm surprised that they didn't eat more of the stuff this time. Of course, we've had this kind of snowy weather, and maybe they're just holing up a little bit, but it's not that severe out. It's cold though. Anyways, I'm going to load up and head back. If anything more happens, I'll bring you back online. We're heading for home, get the doggies back, and I thought I'd take a minute to say thanks for joining me, and if you haven't subscribed, it'd be awful good if you did, and hit the little bell so that you'll get reminded of any new videos that are posted. Share it with anybody else that might also like this type of thing, and if anything happens on the walk out, I'll kick this back in, but I thought I'd better say thanks very much now while I've got the chance, just in case. It's starting to snow a little bit harder. As you can see, I'm getting just a little bit wet. Not wet, but snow covered. So have a good day, have a good week. We'll see y'all the next time.